Everyone's talking about Front Row Motorsports suing NASCAR. Not many are talking about the stellar young driver lineup Front Row Motorsports is quietly putting together for 2025 and beyond. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Monday, folks. Christmas just a couple days away. I'm going to be honest with y'all for a moment. This was the first year, maybe ever, where I was actually looking forward to the NASCAR offseason. The playoff discourse surrounding Joey Logano's, let's just say, polarizing championship run was exhausting to talk about day in, day out. In November, I was ready for a break. But now Christmas is here. New Year's is right around the corner. Per usual, I'm starting to get that itch again. I'm excited for new races, new things to talk about, new storylines. But that being said, at least right now, the championship fight does not intrigue me as much as the fight to make the playoffs. At this point, we still don't know what the 2025 playoff format will look like. Chances are it will still be 16 cars. I'd be surprised if winning you're in the regular season is taken away, but we don't know for sure. Regardless, that battle from 12th to 25th will be extremely intriguing. So many mid-pack teams are currently on the upswing. We talk all the time about Spire Motorsports, 3-car team next year. Carson Hocevar just won Rookie of the Year. They added veteran Michael McDowell. Rodney Childers. Trackhouse just added a third full-time car for SVG. 2311 added a third car for Riely Herbst. RFK, third car for Ryan Preece. Haas Factory Team forming an alliance with RFK. The Wood Brothers are due for a resurgence with Josh Berry behind the wheel. Can Legacy Motor Club, a Tier 1 Toyota team, finally get this thing back on the rails? There are so many mid-pack teams ascending. That fight to get in the playoffs is going to be thrilling. And the one team that perhaps is not getting the attention they deserve is Front Row Motorsports. Again, Front Row is making headlines, but it's because they're suing NASCAR. They're in the middle of an active legal battle against the sanctioning body. Quietly, Bob Jenkins, Jerry Freese are turning that team into a formidable on-track contender. More on that in a moment. On Friday, the news broke that Chandler Smith is joining Front Row Motorsports Truck Series team. We talked about that on the show briefly. I'd like to dive a little deeper now. I believe this is a huge pickup for Front Row Motorsports. Chandler Smith will drive a second full-time truck alongside Lane Riggs. Chandler Smith scored more top 5 finishes, 17, than anyone in the NASCAR Xfinity Series last season. He also grabbed 2 wins in his first year with Joe Gibbs Racing. It took a while for this opportunity to present itself. Remember, in October, Chandler Smith suggested he may be working for his father's construction business in 2025. Fortunately for Chandler, his racing career can continue, though he is taking a step backwards next year. I'm surprised the Truck Series turned out to be Chandler Smith's best option. See, what if I told you there was a 22-year-old driver who has some family funding, maybe not a ton, but some. We saw Smith general contracting on his Xfinity car several times last year. We've got a 22-year-old with some funding who won the Snowball Derby as a teenager, won 5 truck races across 2 full-time years with KBM, won Xfinity races for both Kaulig Racing and JGR, finished 17th in his Cup Series debut 2 years ago with Kaulig at Richmond. What if I told you that guy was jobless in mid-December and had to settle for a Truck Series ride? It's gotta be money, right? Chandler Smith maybe doesn't have the funding he used to, or maybe you look at who JGR put in their Xfinity cars instead. Maybe William Sawalich, Taylor Gray, Brandon Jones just have more. I'm just shocked it took this long to find a good opportunity. And he isn't a good opportunity. Yes, it's a step backwards. It's a step down the ladder, no matter how you slice it, but he's still in a championship contending car. He'll still race on national TV and contend for wins on a regular basis. It's not a bad ride. I'm just surprised that a driver with Chandler Smith's resume wound up getting demoted. It must all come down to money. I think Chandler Smith is good. Last year, I ranked him as one of the top 5 best Cup Series prospects. I still believe that's true. I'm not sure he's a guaranteed future star like William Byron was, or Chase Elliott when he flew up the ranks. Even Ty Gibbs, some of the things he did in Xfinity, made you say, wow. We haven't seen that from Chandler, being completely honest. We have not seen a whole lot of wow, holy moly, but we've seen a lot of good. Maybe he's never going to evolve into a consistent Cup Series contender. Maybe he's an Xfinity guy. Maybe that is his peak. But he's proven he's a darn good Xfinity Series guy. I'm surprised a Truck Series seat was the only thing left available to him. I am surprised. Good luck to Chandler Smith next season. I am rooting for him. I know at one point his name came up in regards to the third front row Cup Series seat, but now all rumors suggest that ride will go to Zane Smith, barring a successful injunction appeal by NASCAR at least. I like Zane Smith too, so I hope that deal works out for Front Row Motorsports. Getting back to Front Row Motorsports more broadly, I'm so impressed by their resiliency the past couple of years. They've lost good people to bigger teams. Blake Harris, crew chief, left for Hendrick Motorsports. Michael McDowell left for Spire. Zane Smith even left for Trackhouse a year ago. But despite these setbacks, Front Row Motorsports has strengthened their alliance with Ford, Team Penske. They signed Truck Series driver Lane Riggs, who second half of last year looked incredible, couple of wins. On the Cup side, suddenly Todd Gilliland looks like a consistent top 20 threat. Oh, and he's still only 24 years old. Now they've added Noah Gragson, who has a ton of potential. Chandler Smith, who we just talked about, I believe is one of the top 5 prospects in the lower series. They've purchased or are attempting to purchase a third Cup charter. They might bring Zane Smith back, who won a Truck Series championship with this team just 2 years ago. I know Zane Smith had a rough rookie season, but the second half of 2024, he put up the same exact numbers as Rookie of the Year Carson Hocevar. So Zane Smith is legit. Front Row Motorsports suddenly is legit. Their driver lineup is incredibly young. I think Noah Gregson's the oldest at like 25, 26 years old. I did the math. Assuming they signed Zane Smith, Front Row's average age next year of their drivers will be 23.8. Very young, but all with extremely high ceilings, I believe. Oh, and not just the drivers. Did I mention that crew chief Chris Lawson rejoined the team this offseason? Yeah, the crew chief who helped Zane Smith win that truck title a couple years ago. Yeah, he's back. Front Row Motorsports was irrelevant a few years ago. I grew up in an era when Front Row Motorsports was a start and park team. Suddenly, here in the next gen era, Front Row Motorsports has become a legit contender. I talk about that points battle 12th through 25th next year. Front Row Motorsports will be in the middle of that. That desperate scramble to nab a playoff spot that pays off huge at the end of the year, that is going to be real drama. Super unpredictable. 3 Spire cars, any one of them could make the playoffs. 3 Trackhouse cars, 3 2311 cars, 3 RFK cars. Who knows what Stenhouse and Hayek Motorsports will do? Josh Berry at the Wood Brothers. Cole Custer with new look Haas factory team. Can Legacy Motor Club ever figure it out? Front Row Motorsports with Todd Gilliland, Noah Gragson, and possibly Zane Smith will be a part of that conversation. They will be part of that fight. I didn't even mention Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch. RCR will be in that mix. It's so fun to see teams like Spire and Front Row, who were afterthoughts a few years ago, suddenly become relevant. Quickly build their programs, make investments, and be more competitive. Suddenly, Spire Motorsports Front Row will be at the tip of everyone's tongue in 2025. They're not just part of the conversation now, they are truly competitive and could be real disruptors come September, October. I don't think Spire or Front Row are going to contend for a championship in 2025, but make the playoffs over someone from Gibbs, someone from Hendrick, someone from Penske, possibly. Make the round of 12, early playoff upset, absolutely. That's on the table. These teams that not long ago were irrelevant are now some of the greatest disruptors. That's exciting. Battle for the championship aside, just making the playoffs in 2025 will be a huge accomplishment for a lot of the teams I just rattled off. Front Row with Todd Gilliland, Noah Gragson, maybe Zane Smith, Chandler Smith, and Lane Riggs. Quietly one of the most stellar young driver lineups the sport has seen in quite some time. Do you agree? Let me know down in the comment section below. If a front row car makes the playoffs, which driver do you think has the best shot? I want to hear what you think down in the comment section below. While you're down there, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. This show is going to heat up come the new year. Don't miss any upcoming episodes. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I will see you all again very, very soon. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.